This season of Good is sponsored by MusicBed. MusicBed represents over 700 indie artists and composers with record label quality music for you to license.
Also, check out musicbed.com for more information on their subscription service, giving you unlimited access for all your projects. As a Good listener, you can get 1 month free off any subscription type. Just head to musicbed.com/good and use coupon code GOOD at checkout.
This season of Good is also sponsored by Film Supply. Licensed stock footage from world-class filmmakers.
Plus, if you're short on time, they have free footage research available to help you find exactly what you need. Learn more at filmsupply.com. Okay, so we have a little list of questions that we ask everybody. You can make your answers as brief as you would like, or as long as you would like. It's totally up to you.
Cool.
So if you're like, I'm done, I need to get the fuck out of here.
No. Cool.
One-word answers are fine.
That's good.
Okay. So we've got a handful. We'll do a few.
Yeah.
Okay. Who knows? But I feel like maybe you have a good answer for this.
Okay.
What's your biggest pet peeve on set?
On set. Scripty? Can I just say that as an answer? Continuity is my biggest pet peeve. When no, I love my script. I love the scripties. I'm just kidding. But when something has to get moved because it doesn't look good in the shot, and scripty's like, you can, and you're like, I don't care. It's growing out of their head. Like nobody cares.
Yeah.
That's literally my biggest pet peeve.
That's funny. What's the hardest you've ever laughed on set?
All the time. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a joker. So like, I like to laugh. But I think working with like David and Andrew Palermo, we like laugh all the time. Like we would laugh all the time, just joking. So I can't think of anything in particular, but like we all dressed up on Green Night to be in the movie, and like David had a wig on, which was hilarious. And Palermo had a ridiculous hair thing on, and he was like operating. Definitely funny. But I think we just all make each other laugh all the time. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
What was your biggest nightmare on set, and what did you learn from it?
I haven't had any like super big.
I keep saying on set, but a lot of what you do is not.
Well, it's usually about when we're shooting. I think it's like hard because I don't want to really talk about this one because the movie it's in Green Night, and I don't want to call attention to it. So I kind of want to leave that one. I hope nobody notices my biggest nightmare on set. So like it's something in Green Night, and what we did about it is like we kind of had to do a big prop like in like 1 week, and it sucked. I wasn't happy with it, but so I don't know what I did about that, but I'm trying to think of another movie. I try really hard to make sure everything is seen beforehand. Oh, here we go. I guess I remember on Marriage Story in the therapist's office, the very last minute, the actors they changed what she was wearing into these jeans, and they didn't get to have it. They couldn't get it washed. The jeans, usually these kind of, it was that kind of denim that was so blue, and usually they pre-wash it. We had a very like nice white couch, and then it was just all over the couch, and we weren't done shooting. So we were like, we have to get the couch cleaned. Also like, so we had to get the couch cleaned overnight, and then they didn't tell us that it was going to be like not super dry the next day. It would still be damp. They failed to tell us that. So it was still damp, and then it just got worse and worse. It was like makeup on the couch. There was like to a point where we couldn't do anything about it.
Is this Laura Dern or
it was Laura Dern.
Okay.
It was Laura Dern. So it's one of those things where it is what it is. It happens, and then you just kind of like live with it. But that was kind of it. As when I think back to all the movies, there was no other major things. Yeah, the last one on Green Night, there was a couple things that happened that were just like, which is the worst when you're not there because you're on another set and you're getting text messages and they're like, "There's this," and you're like, "Oh my god." So it's that kind of stuff.
That sounds stressful. Yeah. All right, one more question.
Okay, one more.
We can do two. Can you do two more?
Yeah, it's two more. Okay. I'm good. I just I was just letting them know not to wait up for dinner, but that's fine.
Okay.
What's one thing you couldn't do your job without, and why? And you can't say a computer.
Can I say an iPad?
No, usually we say to you can't say a camera or something, but I would imagine
what I can do, probably just a sense of humor, honestly, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's not really any of those things. It's just being able to make people laugh. And I think as a boss, I think that's because I know that I'm often working with people who are so much more experienced than me. I think humor is always where that helps me, where I can just sort of make jokes. I'm not afraid to sort of make jokes at my expense, and I'm not afraid to, let the people know. I think it's important for people who are more experienced for them to feel like you recognize that. I recognize you're more experienced than I am. I think my sense of humor, honestly, is how I get by for everything.
Beautiful.
When you have to deal with difficult people or producers or, or line producers who want to take money away, you just have to have that sense of humor. It's always important to present things with a sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What's something that maybe like earlier on in your career you felt like limited you, but now like is a unique part of who you are as an artist?
My sense of humor. I'm just kidding.
Callback.
Limited me. I mean, I guess definitely the beginning of my career. I don't know if now it makes me feel limited me then, but now is a part of
maybe you thought that it did. Like, like being in Vancouver versus being in LA or something, or
I don't live. I'm just here for work. I don't freaking live
or whatever,
Vancouver,
something like that.
Oh, I definitely thinking that I didn't go to film, like didn't properly go to design school or didn't go to a fancy film school. I went to like Montreal, I didn't go to like NYU or any of those any of those schools. And I remember I had an intern come in the other day who's going to intern for us. And she sort of said to me, like, she's in this intern program and all the other kids, they all went to like, film school and she didn't go to film school. And I was like, David Lowery didn't go to college and he didn't go to film school. He's directing this movie, but I used to feel like that was a part of my, that I didn't have that education or I didn't know, or, there's things I didn't know and I felt insecure about that. But now I realize that none of that matters. And like, in fact, it's super cool that I like didn't go to film school.
That is cool.
I went to like, I went to a program that shot on the Bolex, but it was like a communications program. So we had like a film class. Yeah. And I went to film studies. I did film studies, but I didn't go to like a fancy film school. And I think I was always surrounded by people that went to like NYU, AFI, and, Columbia. And a lot of the people who went to those schools, they came up through the world. So everyone kind of knew each other, it was like very cliquey. And I didn't really fit into that, still a lot of people I know now who are working together. It's like, you can trace it back to the time that they met. Right. But what I love about David and I is like, neither of us went to film school and we were both like broke ass when we met. And we were like, we shot a movie in Costa Rica together, just like 4 friends and like all like sharing hotel rooms and just like in a car together. And it's amazing to go from there with someone that in that space and then being in a helicopter scouting and kind of just being like, wow, like look at us. And it's nice to take that journey with someone, totally. I love about my relationship with David is that we're experiencing everything like at the same time, like this sort of these step ups and like getting to be like, this is so cool, look at this gadget. This is so exciting. And it's amazing I'm so happy I take the big leaps with David rather than like doing some huge giant movie with a director I hadn't worked with before. Yeah.
It's pretty special.
would be different because I would feel more like, but David's so smart and he knows like he very quickly he's VFX and all the crazy toys, like he's just like all over it. So, but I think, I don't remember what the question was, but I hope I answered it. What was the question?
I don't remember. It's fine.
Last one, let's do one more. Maybe you've already mentioned this person.
You're really asking a lot, Christian.
It's fun. As you can tell, I like it. It's fun. You guys are a fun podcast. Sometimes they're like really boring.
Trust me, we have our days. Is there someone that gave you a chance or a break that you would like to thank?
Oh, I mean, so many people, honestly. I think Ty West, I always say, like, I owe him my career because he took a chance on me on House of the Devil, but also like David and, Jim Whittaker, who just popped in my office. If only he could hear me now, as I was thinking. They gave me a chance on Peter Pan, you know, like they gave me that chance. But also Tim Grimes, who was the first person who helped me develop my eye. And he's a production designer and doing great things. And, you know, I remember the day where he was like, looks like you've surpassed me. Now we're like competing for jobs, but it's just, you know, all these, there's so many people along the way. And I really believe in like, in passing it forward and trying to help. It means a lot to like, for me right now to have mentees and trying to get interns and trying to grow the industry in the right direction. So especially honestly, man, as a woman in the industry and in the position in charge, I take, you know, great pride in that and wanting to make sure that other young women know that they can like, you know, be a boss and be a nice, cool boss, man. You don't have to be mean. You can be nice. I think it's really important that like your crew like loves you. Like that to me is so important, that I leave a job feeling like my crew liked me and that they had fun. Yeah. I want everyone to have fun. Yeah. I don't want anyone to be like miserable. So that's key.
Don't forget, this season of Good is sponsored by MusicBed. Go to musicbed.com to check out over 700 indie artists and composers with record label quality music.
And remember, as a Good listener, you can get 1 month free off any subscription type. Just head to musicbed.com/good and use coupon code GOOD at checkout.
This season of Good is also sponsored by Film Supply, licensed stock footage from world-class filmmakers.
And do not forget to take advantage of features like shoots and scenes, craft an entire narrative with extensive collections featuring the same talent and settings. Plus, if you're short on time, they have free footage research available to help you find exactly what you need. Learn more at filmsupply.com.